What up, friends? Geoff Fienberg here with you, giving another edition of my Rocket Mortgage Classic picks on the PGA Tour for oddschecker.com/US. Don't forget, so many great events going on in the world of sports right now. Euro Cup, NBA playoffs, so much fragility with the lines there every day, all the injuries, Stanley Cup finals. I got the Lightning for the sweep, plus 650. Let's keep that going down the road. MLB, UFC fights every single weekend, it feels. NFL futures. Don't forget, oddschecker.com/US. Get yourself the best number anytime you're ready to pull the trigger. Just like I am here today. We've already given a video with my outright selections for the Rocket Mortgage Classic in Detroit this week. Go check that out. 4 outright picks for me between 28 and 66 to 1. Adding some longer shots today, just a slew of bomb top 20s with some micro outright sprinkles. Because as I mentioned yesterday, this event's a bit of this might be the worst event on the PGA Tour calendar. That Palmetto a couple weeks ago was pretty muck. Garrett Higgo still sitting at 50 to 1. I'll feel pretty silly like when he wins again at a birdie party. He just won at the Canary Islands at minus 30. I got people on the grounds in Detroit telling me they're expecting the 2 winning scores of the last 2 years, the Lashley Bryson, minus 25, minus 23. They think that could get lapped this week. Incredibly soft conditions in Detroit. The greens, these guys are just going to be able to roll their face off, even if they're not sticking their approaches. That is what I'm hearing out of Detroit this week. So maybe that should change some perspectives. Like, it was already going to be an absolute birdie fest, but now I think we could be in for an absolute birdie bonanza. And yeah, I would just listen. Garrett Higgo was 50 to 1 to win that Palmetto. He's 50 to 1 to win this event. What more should the guy have had to do? I'm not betting Garrett Higgo. I'm just that just seems like a talking point that's in my head at the moment. As you realize this thing's going to be a bonanza. This guy just put up a minus 30 on the European Tour and just came over to America and won. Oh, probably regret not picking Higgo. Okay, we'll move along. I got some picks here for you. 5 top 20s. I've made micro outright sprinkles with them as well. Let's start it off. Alex Noren. He is 80 to 1 on the outright. Small little nibble. We're really here for that plus 300 on the top 20 for Noren this week. He seems to have really found his way on easier courses like this. He's been able to put birdies up in absolute bunches. It's weird because we all have this profile of Noren being this guy you'd want, the harder the course, the more I'd want a piece of Noren. But I don't know. Something in his profile has changed. I'm a big fan of his. I think he can get that putter going, and this setup, everything that Detroit offers, in my opinion, is right in Alex Noren's wheelhouse. So I'll be taking a bit of Noren at 80 to 1 on the outright with a plus 300 on the T20, keeping that going. Harold Varner III, 110 on the outright for a micro sprinkle, and plus 320 on that top 20. Harold Varner III, of all players that don't include, say, Tony Finau, who I bet way too much and never get right because he never wins. That's a different class of player. That's a different odd, right? You're betting, right? You're just lower down the board. That takes a little more of a stomach. Harold Varner III, for players in sort of his tier, I don't think there's a player I get wrong more often than Harold. Every time I think something sets up for Harold, it has completely backfired on me. Yeah, what are we thinking? Heritage, Pebble Beach, burned, one and done, zeros, missed cuts. But I'm going back to Harold this week. I think his game does work here. And he always has that ability to flash in one area statistically while holding the fort in others. So Harold Varner III, 80 to 1 in this field. Maybe I just want it more than I believe it. But sorry, 110 to 1 using that odds checker grid. I've seen it as low as 70 to 1. So especially on those longer shots, it's best to use that grid, because the disparity in lines is usually quite larger the higher we go up on the board. Harold Varner III. Be dialed in this week for me, Harold, please. Cam Davis, 110 to 1, micro sprinkle, plus 450 on the top 20. Seems like a guy that can really handle these Donald Ross courses well. Approach, putting. His off the tee has abandoned him a bit, but these fairways are wide, and if he gets that back, which I don't think will be too difficult for Cameron, I expect him to be, listen, the way this event sets up, this week sets up, this course sets up, there is a lot of people who do what I do that are quite confident it's going to be a longer shot winner. We discussed this yesterday. Sometimes I just don't have the willpower. I like my outright picks. I am sort of going for guys that have actually won PGA Tour events. But asking me to pick 100 to 1 plus winner, Cam Davis probably would have been my favorite pick this week. And I did sleep on this number because it's gotten smaller and smaller as the hours have passed. But 110 is the best I can do right now. I'm seeing it as low as 90. Did I say Cam Smith? Yeah, I wish I was getting Cam Smith at that number. Anyhow, the other less renowned Cam from Australia, Cam Davis. People who've been watching me for a while know there was a bit of a time where he was playing some great form and we were excited to back him. So there it is, Cam Davis. That'll be the third. Keep on keeping on. I am not done. Denny Willett, plus 125 with a 4 to 1 on the top 20. Classical golf courses always seem to suit Denny the most. Donald Ross designs seem to favor a guy like Willett and how he likes to get around golf courses. And, well, fourth last year. My only worry is he'll be distracted in his Saturday round because England will be playing a big soccer match to get into the Euro semis, right? I joke, but I'm not joking because I think that would be a thing. But hey, they should beat Ukraine pretty easily. You could tell where my future lies. I even sent out a tweet wishing all those English golfers well in their match against Germany. Have a day. They certainly did. Hopefully it's coming home. Make all those happy, right? As we head into the Open Championship. That'll be fun. Last one. This guy might have shown up on yesterday's card if he was in the field when I made yesterday's video. Like many, was saddened to see Seamus Power not included in the original field for this event, despite having a great finish last year. Listen, exemptions are hard to come by. Between Will Zalatoris and all these amazing kids from college at the moment, guys like Seamus Power really got to fight and claw. Like, the exemptions just don't exist. And that's every right of the sponsor. They want to get guys in there who would bring more eyeballs, and that likely isn't Seamus Power. How does he change that? He's got to play better. That's kind of hard because the only way really for him to play better would be to win, because he's having a great run of golf in the last few weeks. 9th at Byron Nelson, 19th at Palmetto, 19th at Travelers. In terms of his putting, he could be one of the better players in this field in putts per green. His overall play in all of the stats that we've mentioned this week seems to be headed in the perfect direction. He is playing, I don't want to overrate how well he's playing, but he's playing very clean. Clean is an understatement to describe the type of golf Seamus is playing. He's playing quite remarkable golf at this time. 80 to 1 appears to be the best number I can see on Seamus. I'm seeing it as low as 60. Bet365 is dropping a 60 on Seamus Power, a guy that got into the field yesterday. That tells you, like, people think he's live. I am one of them. Seamus Power, 80 to 1. I can't even find the prop bets yet on Seamus, so I'll just keep hunting throughout the day. Listen, there's a lot going on in the world of sports, and Odds Checkers got you covered, as I mentioned it. NHL finals, NBA playoffs, Euro Cup. There always seems to be a fight, MLB in full swing, and all these other sports that I probably haven't even mentioned that are going on. So, golf gets on the back burner, and a guy like Seamus Powers is easily Austin Powers, Seamus Power, is easily forgotten about. So I get nervous, like, am I going to bug the book? Because they haven't posted these Seamus lines yet, but I don't want them to know I want to bet Seamus. I just want them to do their jobs and realize there have been field changes, like a Charlie Hoffman withdraw, a Luke List withdraw, and update the field. Therefore, update your boards. A lot of sites really move slowly to do that. You can understand it in some ways, but I hate having to go into the messages or the contacts and be like, excuse me, there's this golfer that you've never heard of, and I'm only asking you to list them because I want to bet them. Right? And then I'm like, oh, they're going to give me a bad number. But it seems like they're only giving bad numbers on Seamus Power for what you would have thought. Yeah, that was my Seamus Power rant. I'm quite high on Seamus this week. So I definitely have to get invested in him, even if the number doesn't seem right. So there it is. Listen, those 5 micro outrights would be the same as me making one losing head-to-head in terms of total exposure. So it's not changing a lot. It's Canada Day, where I'm going to be this weekend, long weekend. So I don't even know how much of this golf I'm going to see, but when I sit down, it'll be a lot of fun to have a horse in the race. If you're tailing me, you certainly hope so as well. If you're fading me, listen, I don't know. I hope you hit a winner too. That's about it. I'm Geoff Fienberg. I probably went way too long for what could have just been me quickly running through those 5 jabronis. But I love golf. I love talking to you, and I love Odds Checker. So I'm out.